Well, hello there. I'm Felix.
And I'm Derek.
And welcome to our review of Assassins Creed Valhalla. This is a very interesting game. While it's most certainly and unmistakably part of the enormous franchise that began way back in 2007, this game could almost be its own thing, given a couple of very small adjustments. We suspect the team behind Assassin's Creed really wanted to do their own version of something like Skyrim, and for the most part they accomplished their mission. By and large, you don't need to have ever touched upon any of the previous games to get the most out of this one, and that's by no means an accident in our estimations. Neither is it a bad thing.
I like hitting stuff overhead with club.
There aren't any clubs in this game.
I know. This game I hit overhead with axe. Axe good too. Bit messy, but good.
Okay. Moving on. You play as Ivor, a Viking with an old score to settle, whose journey eventually takes them to England in search of humble conquest. You begin your journey in Norway as a young child. You can be either male or female, though for the purposes of the story, it's probably best to play as a female. This isn't essential though, and the game tackles things very well in terms of story if you decide to play as male Eivor.
I like female Eivor. Strong women are the best. Back when I owned Spa next to Volcano, they came all the time, relax in hot spring and fend off the velociraptors.
I didn't realise there were dinosaurs where you came from.
No, not dinosaur. Biker gang of hooligans. They called the velociraptor.
I get it. Anyway, after a somewhat lengthy opener in Norway, adult Eivor and their surrogate brother, Sigurd, cut their losses and head to England in search of a land to call their own, and wealth beyond measure. 2 members of the Assassin Brotherhood are among your number, Basim and Hytham, both of which play support roles for the most part of the game. The Templars show up in the form of the Order of the Ancients, and along with often overpowered zealots, who are dotted about England, make up the majority of the targets who you'll be looking to assassinate. But there is so much more to do in this game than assassinations, so much so that this aspect never really feels like a major part of the game. That's not to say that the game is overwhelming. As a matter of fact, I'd say that this game handles the myriad of distractions better than most in this genre. You are never inundated with new quests. They are always there, but it's not the case that you'll walk into a new area and all of a sudden there's a dozen new things to do. For the most part, it's those high up vantage points that you need to focus on in the beginning of the game. Doing so synchronises your character, and all of the points of interests are highlighted as you pan the lovely vistas that surround you. From there, all the little side quests get marked on your map, ready for you to tackle when you feel like it. Not because the game demands you to do them. Your home encampment is your base, but it never really feels like it's in danger that much. Perhaps a bit of an oversight, considering that the raids you complete earn you resources to improve the settlement, which in turn offers a scant amount of perks. Along the way you will be able to upgrade Eivor with a galaxy worth of skills via a skill tree that branches out in hidden areas. Some of the skills are more useful than others, but you can chop and change as and when you feel like it, with no drawbacks. Everything is upgradable: weapons, shields, armour, your horse, your longboat. Eivor can even fall in love, and out of love. While some of your dialogue options can have an effect on the outcome at the end, this never really feels as impactful as perhaps it could have been. There are some quirky, out-there moments to be had, like helping a strange woman find the ingredients to stink out the townsfolk living above her, or guiding a young maiden who wants to fall pregnant into the path of a fertility rock. That is in actual fact a man with great PR. Not to mention a poor Viking who doesn't realise there's an axe embedded in the side of his head.
I didn't do it. It was not me.
These moments, while a little disjointed from the overall dark theme of the game, are brilliant little distractions that lighten the mood in between some of the heavier sections. Travelling from A to B obviously gets easier once you've visited these vantage points I spoke about, marked by an eagle on your map. White ones for ones you've yet to visit, green ones for ones that you have. How you get to them is up to you. There are some horses to buy from stables, but they all behave the same with no real advantage over the other. You also have your longbow, though I have to say that for a Viking game, I rarely found myself motivated to travel this way. In fact, for the most part, I only ever found myself in a boat when the story demanded it. If you want to take a look at the world around you for a spell, your trusty raven is always on hand, allowing you a bird's eye view of your surroundings. Helpful with scouting things out, as well as figuring out exactly where it is you want to be going.
Raven tastes good in stew.
Indeed. It's a big world that you have available to you, with plenty to keep you busy, and there are multiple land masses outside of England to contend with, almost to the point that it sometimes feels like they may have packed a little bit too much in there. But you can never complain about having too much of a game to play, right? Can you?
Show me what
If you've ever played an Assassin's Creed game before, the combat will feel assuredly familiar. And for someone who hasn't played an Assassin's Creed game before, it's not all that daunting. My one complaint in regards to combat would be the fact that there are no one-handed swords at present, though there is of course a skill that makes Eivor capable of holding that two-handed greatsword one-handed. It's not a game free of bugs. Some advantageous, others not so much. But this hardly ever detracts from the consistent quality that exists throughout the overall experience. So, to summarise, Assassin's Creed Valhalla is a big, beautiful game, a definite step forward for the franchise, and one that we hope leaves its mark for some time to come. There's a smattering of sections set in the modern day, and a couple of platforming sections in the form of anomalies that remind us that the story is set in a simulation. But other than that, you could play this solely for the experience of playing a Viking game, and come away very satisfied. It's violent, it's bloody, you can finish it in 30 plus hours, or take your time and still be playing it after 100 plus hours. It's all up to you. And so we give this game an overall score of 9.2 out of 10.
I agree. I paid 9 pebbles for it too.
Thanks for watching. We hope you enjoyed this review. Please don't forget to leave a like, a comment, share, and please, please, please subscribe.
Press! Let's not waste time!
Come! Help me with this!
Some good loot here!